analyst, CTFM and City TV. Yo, what's up?
Yo, framework.
Yesterday you were bleeding. No social media.
I wish, like, henceforth, I wish social media closes at 9 p.m.
Papa.
No, so that I can sleep. I can have a good sleep.
No, but go and sleep. Turn off your data and sleep.
I can't.
Well, I also have here M.anifest. He is host of 30 Minutes on City TV and also City Countdown and City TV as well. Kwame, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, Lily Salvador.
Yeah,
I'm fine. Thank you.
No rest for the wicked. No rest for the wicked.
You know, Monda. Yesterday was doom so.
I
saw on social media.
I slept early.
It was a good break.
No, it wasn't good for me.
What
wasn't?
No, because I was trying to, send. So it was Fred who called me and said, "Okay, can you send me the documents of this?" And I sent the documents. And the thing wasn't going through. I didn't know what to do. I was so frustrated.
Sorry.
Some people.
It should happen once in a while.
Well, maybe we can manage that, but they should let us know so we have a national holiday.
All I know is relationships were saved last night. Relationships were saved last night.
I was safe.
Right, so let's now delve deeper, into happenings in the world of showbiz. What's going on? What are the issues?
Yeah, so there are still conversations about promoting Ghanaian music.
Yeah.
And on the Upside Down show on Sunday, something happened.
Okay.
M.anifest gave us some advice to DJs.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that video and come back.
Sure. So we are at an event and we are getting back-to-back Ghanaian music.
Well, number one, I think more artists have to figure out the way to popularize their music without TV or radio, and so that the people are requesting it, like you're saying. But the other challenge, and I'll say this to Mingo, because I think people like him are why some people, when I play shows, will be singing along, because he's a tastemaker. He has to recognize his position as a tastemaker, not to just be dictated to by the people. You decide that. You are part of making those decisions because you have a position of power. You're an artist. The way you even mix my songs right now made it jump even more. So you have to make a conscious effort. Like piano DJs, they know what they're doing. They're privileging something South African. So we can't just always be swayed by what is now TikTok and whatever. You're determining next week, the month after. So as a tastemaker, I think there's too much of throwing our hands in the sky and saying, this is the status quo, so abide by it. Why is it that the old school, when you play it, is all of a sudden a big thing? At that time, American music even dominated over that music. But now they're nostalgia and see. So we have to, different people who are as talented as Mingo, etc., are going to have to be forward thinkers to figure out how to
because music grows on you.
Yes, it grows on you. It's repetitive. The more it's playlisted, etc. So
Right, so just so you know, Upside Down shows on City TV every Sunday at 7 p.m. I think M.anifest was making some serious points there. What do you think?
It was a good point, but I don't think DJs are the only taste makers.
Okay.
Now, digital media, TikTok, IG, just as Miguel said, they're also taste makers.
Okay.
And so it's more or less like a chicken and egg situation. Now, is it the DJ that dictates what the audience should listen to, or the audience? Because don't forget, the DJ is also on social media. The DJ is also feeding on all the promos on social media. And so before he goes out to that event or goes on to radio to play the songs, he's been influenced one way or the other. So I think that solving this problem or helping promote Ghanaian music, we need that holistic approach. It's not just about DJs setting the pace.
Okay.
It's also about you, the musician, knowing that now you can promote your songs through social media as well, and also the DJ trying to push Ghanaian music. I think the challenge is with events. Sometimes it's quite difficult for you as a DJ to say that, okay, I want to play 100% Ghanaian music, because events are not like people listening to radio. The person coming to the event already has a taste of what they want to listen to or jam to. But if you're on radio, you can have a policy, maybe 90% local music. But that event, if you make a mistake, just as Mengel said, and say, okay, I'm going to play what I want, or I'm going to live by my agenda to push Ghanaian music, you may not appeal to the people, the patrons. So I think it's a 50-50 thing that we should look at, and not always blame the DJs alone. If you were a musician out there, M.anifest said that in that interview, that you need to also devise means of getting on social media and then use those means to just push your craft. So let's look at this holistically as an industry than blaming only the DJs.
Right. So Olele, the conversation has come from media houses, from other people, the musicians themselves churning out dope music, and now the call is on DJs. Don't you think that, so you're on radio, they can also determine their tastemakers, so maybe we can take it from the angle of DJs on radio, because there are some songs that are not nice, but they keep hammering the thing in your ears. The next morning, you find yourself singing a line or two, So if we start maybe that from maybe on radio, wouldn't that translate to event grounds?
Thank you very much. I think that's where M.anifest is coming from, because even before a song gets to the event, it will start from somewhere. Yeah. If it's not starting from social media, it's definitely going to start from radio. On this part of the world where we are still, driven by what we hear on traditional media, it's most likely the situation, because before a song as a hit song, especially from this part of the world, that means it's had some level of airplay across radio stations. Even the countdown that we do, we take the top 10 hottest songs that are played in the country across the radio airwaves. So that is where I think that's where M.anifest is coming from. Now the issue about good music, that's where the challenge is, because if the song is not good, and I'm sure it's not going to get airplay, regardless of the Payola system that we've always talked about.
We will spend the money.
You get me? And I think that is where M.anifest is also coming from, because DJs need to go beyond just being spoon-fed and then research into the industry. I'm sure there are a lot of great songs out there that haven't seen the light of day because some DJs are becoming lazy. Now, back in the day, DJs were acting as A&Rs. They go to the club, or they go wherever they have to get to listen to brand new songs and bring it to the fore. These days, because of digital media, they become very lazy, because the artists will either send a song or they wait for a song to become a hit on social media. Case in point, the Comerica movement. None of the songs that became a hit on social media were played on air until it became a hit on social media. A DJ could have taken, the charge to say, what, I want to solely lead a move or a movement, but they didn't. They waited for the song to become big elsewhere, because the Comerica movement actually brought us the attention we're looking for, but from the external, shall I say, listenership. Because it had to take a tweet from an American to say that there's a drill movement going on in Kumasi. Before our DJs moved to that direction, and we've had this conversation over and over again on the chat and so on and so forth. So DJs need to move away from being spoon-fed or waiting to be given payola before they play certain music. They need to do their research, play the good songs, and of course we'll definitely get to play it at the events.
I know you're smiling because you have something else to say, but let's also look at outside.
I don't have anything to say.
Better, because but beyond what M.anifest is saying, what else is making news?
So Adina on the chat also said something about her tour in Australia.
Oh, she just celebrated her birthday, right?
Yesterday.
Yes. About 3 years ago, she toured the Pacific Islands. Charlie, and I was surprised because, people would think of maybe going to America or
No, I was also surprised I heard Australia. I thought Australia.
And now Australia. Samoa Islands.
Samoa, like
and so I think that they're still using their analytics to check where their presence is more felt. I think that they know that people in Australia are streaming the song, listening to them, and so they want to go there. And I think it's a very good thing that they're doing, the management of Adina is doing right now. And so we should support her, and we want to see more from other musicians. Don't be in your comfort zone. People are moving around, and the fact that somebody can determine that yes, somebody somewhere in Australia is listening to me.
But where did she say this though?
On the chat.
Okay.
On the chat.
Okay, so
on Saturday.
Can we see it?
Yes, let's take a look.
Right, so let's take a look at it.
Last year you did a while back you did a Pacific tour. I mean, going into these beautiful areas.
Yes.
Now, do you plan on doing a foreign tour anytime soon?
Yes, actually. It's COVID that's still messing things up, but the borders for Australia will be open soon.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah,
we're going far.
In November, I think. If they're not lying to us, because
At this rate,
we have pushed this back and back and back, but COVID, hey.
Okay.
So yeah, soon.
So once it's open, we're heading out there.
Yeah.
Amazing. Are you planning on doing an African-wide tour anytime soon?
I would love to go to different parts of Africa, but for now, the next is the Australian thing, and then I'm sure we'll look at Africa. But definitely, it's like.
Olale, when you look at how Kiddies music is doing, for instance, Shake It, I don't know if that's the...
Touch It.
Oh, Touch, how Touch It is doing, now enjoying international and world appreciation.
Yeah.
How would you, place Adina's Australia tour?
I think it's strategic. I think the audience there need to know something about Ghana. But I just want to add that it needs to be documented and documented well. Because some of our artists, when they go out there, they just say, "Oh, I'm going to Australia, I'm going to South Africa." They don't come back. I know we are not entitled to anything, but at least
No, we are stakeholders.
Well, so
why are they telling us that? If we come back and tell us
so if you are telling us, document it well, so that posterity can always come back and look back at some of these things that have been done. Because if we grew up didn't hear the likes of what Anampedu, Kojo Nchi, Adana Lumba, and our Ebo Taylors did in other countries, I'm sure we wouldn't have been inspired to do more. Sibisa. So when our artists go out there, especially to these indigenous areas, come back and document it, and let's give it that buzz.
Great.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's what is happening, in the world of showbiz, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Yep.
But moving on.
City Countdown.
Okay.
Every Friday on 97.3 City FM with Jessica, and on Saturday with Emmanuel Sapon right here.
Right. So let's now go for the City Countdown. Who is doing what? Who is playing what? And where?
This is the City Countdown. This is the City